right, welcome to fifth grade orientation. We have a lot of information to cover, a lot of new procedures, so we're going to go ahead and get started and introduce ourselves. I'm Mrs. McKinnon, and I teach history and science. I've been teaching for 8 years, 6 of those years. 3 of them I was in the public school setting. Then I came to Faith Academy for 3 years. I had 3 small children, so I decided to stay at home and raise them. I was at home for 9 years, and now this is my second year back at Faith Academy.
I'm Mrs. Ewing. How are y'all? I've been teaching 24 years. I taught 10 years in the public school system in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and then I've been at Faith Academy for 14 years. I teach language, spelling, and Bible.
I'm Mrs. Robertson. I teach literature and writing. I've been in the public school setting for 5 years, and this is my second year here at Faith Academy.
Hi, I'm Miss Stigman, and I have been teaching for 25 years, and this is my 15th year at Faith Academy, and I teach math, and I have one son, and he goes to college this year, so that's a new change for me as well. But so this is our, go ahead and get started. This is going to be on our portal, and you will be able to see who teaches what if you forget, but that's all our names up there. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We know we got a lot of different changes this year and some things that we are seeing that are different, but we know that God is big and He is in control of all this. He's the God of the mountains and the God of the valleys, right? So we are ready for this. And today we're going to talk about our arrival. And the first thing that you'll see is that all the buildings will be locked until 7:20. That's our first biggest change. If you arrive prior to that time, we're asking that you would just remain in your vehicles and not get out until that time. The doors will not be unlocked for them to come in. In the years past, they were able to come in and sit in the halls, so that will be a change this year. You may also contact Life Church Child Development Center for before school care. And if you want to do that, this has more information up here where you can visit lifechurchcdc.com, and they have applications available online for you if that's going to be a need that you guys have. At 7:20, morning duty will begin, and that's when our doors will unlock, and they can either come to their homeroom classrooms or they can go to the cafeteria and get a little breakfast before they get started. But in either place, if you're in the cafeteria or if you're coming in the classroom, we will be taking their temperatures right when they come in the door, and children will not be allowed to congregate out in the hallways. As soon as they get there, they're to go straight to their homeroom classrooms. And during the first 2 weeks, you may walk your child to the classroom if necessary, but we do ask that if you're walking your child that you wear a mask as well, and do not enter the classrooms and exit the building as quickly as possible. After the first 2 weeks of school, parents of children in grades 1 through 6 are encouraged to walk their children to the building's exterior doors and to drop them off there. And all that's just to keep our germs separated. All right, and then let's talk about morning duty. This is a little different from years past for you guys. At this time, all teachers are going to be doing their own morning duty. So in the past, they may have all went in Miss Ewing's room for 1 week and the next Miss McKinnon's. But now we're going to all go to our own separate classrooms and have our own morning duty. And with that being said, that kind of changes our help class schedule. So right now we're not going to have those morning duty help classes that we may have had, but we will get more information to you on that as times change. But right now that's just everybody going to their morning duty. And as far as the classrooms go, generally in 4th and 5th grade, the students moved from class to class and the teachers stayed put. But this year, your child will stay put in a classroom, and we, the teachers, will move and come to your child in each of the rooms. And again, that's just for purpose of keeping all God's children in one little room together. Okay? And then the temperature checks, your teacher will check it when they enter the classroom. And if your child has 100 or higher, we will send them to the school nurse, and she will at that time coordinate the next steps in calling you and figure out what we need to do about that. We do have a current health care policy, and if you will just look at that on the Faith Academy website, it has some more information about that. But as far as we're all concerned, if your child comes in, just know that we're not going to let anyone in the classroom that has 100 degree or higher. We'll send them to Miss Skelton. All right, and we also, now we're going to talk a little bit about the cleaning. The cleaning is a little bit different this year, and I know some of you probably have seen in the news, we've got these, every HVAC unit is equipped with a bipolar ionization and filtration system. So that is like our biggest change. That is amazing. We're all excited about that. Each classroom will have a hand sanitizing station, and students will use the sanitizer as they enter the room, as they exit the room. They're going to wash their hands before they go to the bathrooms and the bathroom breaks. And then before lunch and after PE, we're going to have lots of clean little hands. Everybody's going to be washing up with that. Then we're going to have our desk and any like high-touch surfaces like your light switches or pencil sharpeners and all that. Those are going to be wiped down a lot during the day too. So just know that we're going to be doing everything that we can to keep that classroom clean for your child and for us and everybody that would come in there. Now, if there was a positive case of COVID, of course, there would be increased measures taken, and we would get to that and take care of that. So another thing that our school has purchased is a handheld UV device, and that is to sanitize the keyboards when they go into the computer lab. So when they're in the computer lab and one class leaves, they will take this little device and clean all those, and so that'll be nice and clean when the next class comes in. So that's just kind of to set your mind at ease. All right, now let's talk about what's the protocol if your child does have some symptoms. First, before they even come to school every morning, we're asking that you guys go ahead and check their temperature for us before they come to school and make sure that it is below 100. Please do not send your child to school with the following symptoms. If they have fever, any flu-like symptoms, if they're vomiting or have diarrhea, any of those things would be causes for you just to not send them that day and keep them at home. And again, it's, see the health policy for a complete list of all the symptoms that you need to kind of be watching out for and making sure you don't send your kid on that day. Children must be symptom-free for at least 24 hours. And additional time may be required depending on diagnosis. So if you know your child had a fever, please make sure you don't send them to school tomorrow. If they had it at 8 o'clock, wait till after that 24-hour period is up. All right, so if you find out that your child does have a positive case, we're asking that the first thing you do is notify us immediately via email. And if your child or someone in the household even tests positive, we ask that you notify us. And when we are notified, we're going to follow all the CDC guidelines from the Mobile Health Department. And we will notify of anyone who's been exposed, and we'll let you know about any classroom closing that we may have, or how long a quarantine would be for that particular child that maybe was exposed. So those will be things that we'll do to take care of that. And now Ms. Robertson is going to come and talk to you about the mask. Okay?
Okay, so we will be abiding by the current state and local mandates regarding the mask, and all masks must be solid colors, no patterns or writing, and they can have a monogram, but it can be no bigger than 1.5 inches. And please make sure your masks are labeled with your child's name, and if you would like to, you can send some extra masks for your children. And having the mask just helps increase our opportunities to stay on campus. And that leads into this slide. This shows different levels of exposure, and just having the mask is just so much of a better way for us to be able to stay on campus and to have the kids in school so that we can stay in school. All right, phone usage. During school hours, school phones are for illnesses and emergencies only. To help encourage student responsibility, we are not going to be allowing them to call home for forgotten homework, lunch, uniforms, or other etc. reasons. Absences and tardies. Absences in excess of 20 require a doctor's note. Students with more than 20 absences without doctor's notes will have to repeat the grade. And we know that if something comes up with COVID, that absences, just please make sure to get a doctor's note for those for us. And due to social distancing, processing tardies may take longer than usual. Please plan to be at school on time so that the tardy line won't be long and you won't have to wait in line for that. With tardies, 3 unexcused tardies is a 15-minute after-school detention. 6 unexcused is a 30-minute after-school detention. And 9 unexcused is a Saturday school. Early dismissals, please go to the front office. Be prepared to show your photo ID, and only those listed on the student release form will be allowed to pick up your children. Please keep that current, and no dismissals allowed after 2:30 p.m. On the student release form, students 7th grade and up are allowed to pick up their siblings only if they are listed on the student release form as being approved to do so. We will not release a child to anyone that is not listed on the student release form. All right, car line and dismissal. This is going to be a little different this year. To help reduce congestion on the sidewalks, we are staggering the elementary dismissal lines. There's going to be 2 different waves. The first wave is going to be from 2:30 to 3, and that will be from K3 through 2nd grade. The second dismissal wave will be 3:05 to 3:35, and that will be for 3rd grade through 6th grade. And please note some of these things with the new car line dismissal procedures. Parents will not enter the buildings at dismissal time. We are asking that parents please use the car line. Don't forget to hang your yellow sign in the car window. And we made an example of you can use a hanger and just hang the sign on this and put it in your car and then pick it down when your child is in the car. And you're going to choose the dismissal wave for your oldest child, and any students not picked up by 3:35 will be walked over to Life Church. This is a map of Carline and where we will be located in the afternoons. Rainy day pickup is also going to be a little different this year. K3 through 5th grade will remain in the classrooms, but parents will bring their Carline signs, the same yellow signs, to the door of your child's building. Parents will not enter the building. They will be called by a walkie-talkie, and the students will come down to you where you are at. Severe weather, the school will be open unless the weather makes it too dangerous for school to be in session. On questionable mornings, the local radio and TV stations will announce the school's decisions. Information may also be able to be accessed on our school website, social media, and email. And library, the students will go to the library every other week during my class. When I rotate around to the students, we will go and check out 3 books. They will have 2 free choice and 1 on our assigned genres that we're going to be studying throughout the year. PE, students will be separated by their class and sections. PE will be conducted outdoors, weather permitting. Contact sports will be limited, and they will not have to wear the mask during PE. With us being outside and getting them to spread apart, that will help us not be able to, for the kids not to wear the mask during PE. Okay, and Ms. Ewing is going to come next for chapel.
All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is chapel. And we do have chapel here at Faith Academy. The kids really look forward to that. This year, we are going to be live streaming it through the classroom. So the kids will stay in the classroom. Some of the chapels will be pre-recorded, and some of them will be live streamed through the church. And I've already said that. They'll stay in the classroom. Parent Plus, if you're not familiar with this, it's a great tool to keep up with your child's progress and with their grades. That's where you'll find the homework sheet that will be listed on there every week, and we generally put that on the portal every Friday, so you can look at it through the weekend for the following week. You'll also see the spelling list on there and any other information you could find there. These are our email addresses, and they're also on the paperwork that you received today. Another way that we will be communicating back and forth to you is Remind 101, and this is a great app that allows us to notify you through text of special events, alerts, or announcements. Sometimes we use this if we decide that we want to move a test back, and we may send, something home about that. And if we don't, we'll have the child write it in their planner, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Each teacher will have their own homeroom and subject remind. So for me, you'll have a remind for my homeroom kids, and then everybody in my language, spelling, and Bible classes will have one as well. Our special codes to join our class remind will be given to you at meet and greet, and that will be on August the 10th, which is Monday. This year, each child will be assigned an email address. It will basically be the child's first name dot last name at faithacademy.us. They're going to be given a password. Now, all of this is going to be done in their computer class. Miss Dennis will be their computer teacher, and she will be helping them with that. We're going to be using Google Classroom throughout the year to make extended absences or transitions that may occur through distance learning, if that becomes something that we have to go to. But it will allow them to be able to use Google Classroom. And there will be more details on that later, so that's nothing for you to worry about right now. Homework and assignments will be posted to Google Classroom. Once they get the hang of it, Ms. Dennis will teach them and show them how to use it, and then they'll get more exposure because each week, starting on week 4, I believe, we'll have an assignment that will be posted on there so that they can kind of get used to it. So if we do have to go to distance learning, then they'll be familiar with it. More on that later. This is our grading scale. It's a 10-point scale, and you may be familiar with that. The incomplete, satisfactory, fair, needs improvement, and unsatisfactory is used for work study, conduct, and writing. Graded papers will not be sent home unless you request it. So if you get on Portal and you see that maybe there was a grade that you're not satisfied with, or something like that, then you can request for it to be sent home. And I'm talking about tests and things, okay? We keep the test. Sometimes the quizzes are sent home because that helps them to study, but the test, we'll keep those. But you're welcome to see it. We'll just send it home. You look at it, sign it, let us know that you saw it, and bring it back. If it's a failing test grade, then that's something that we need to do. We will send that home to you, have you sign it, and send it back. If it's not returned the following day, then the child will receive a 15-minute after-school detention, which will be assigned for not returning the test, okay? Students, this is where I was talking about the planner. Students will copy their homework for the following week in their Faith Academy planner on Fridays. So hopefully you guys got one from the bookstore, because we will be using that every Friday. That will be part of the bell work, okay? The homework sheet will be projected onto the screen to copy, and the students are responsible for copying from their homework sheet to their planner, and we will walk them through that for the first few weeks. Students must complete their planner each Friday. Failure to fill in their planner will affect their work study grade on their report card. Students are responsible for making necessary changes, and this is what I was talking about with the Remind 101. We may not, we're not going to be using that for every little thing. We may say, hey, kids, get out your planner. I think you're not ready for your test tomorrow. Let's change it to Thursday. So erase that you're having one tomorrow, and let's change it to Thursday. So make sure you're checking that periodically. It says, please check your planner nightly to make sure your child has completed all assignments. No written homework will be assigned on Wednesdays. Now, we may have tests on Thursday, so they may have studying, but no written homework will be assigned. All incomplete classwork is homework unless specified by the teacher. Homework sheets will also be posted on Portal. So if you want to look at your child's planner and make sure it matches with the homework sheet, then you can do that as well. It'll be there for you. Now let's talk about lunch. Students eating in the cafeteria will be on a staggered schedule. Cafeteria will be reduced to no more than half capacity. Students will be spaced and seated only on one side of the table, so they won't be sitting across from their friends. They're just going to be sitting on one side, and we're all going to have to get used to that. And at this time, lunch visits will be postponed. So if you've come in the past to eat with your child, we're going to postpone that for now. Lunch can be brought from home or pre-ordered from the cafeteria, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Microwaves are available for 5th grade use. If a child forgets their lunch at home or forgets to pre-order their lunch, the child's account will be charged, but they'll only be able to get a hamburger, a corn dog, juice, or milk. Now, this is the only way that you can order lunch, okay? It's from the myschoolaccount.com. The online service allows you to monitor your child's account. You can pre-order lunch for the week. You can make deposits into your child's account directly. But you have to make sure that the lunch order is placed by 8 a.m. each day. All right, look, birthdays, all food items must be individually prepackaged and bought that way, okay? Popsicles, fruit chews, cookies, goldfish, Little Debbie's. Donuts will not work because that would be you prepackaging them in a Ziploc bag. So make sure that they're bought already prepackaged. Unfortunately, we cannot distribute homemade treats, and just a reminder that lunch visits will be postponed at this time. Water fountains will not be used. We're not using water fountains, but your child can bring a water bottle from home. And it says all water bottles must be labeled with your student's name. Please send a full bottle. And at the time that we made this, we said that bottles will not be refilled during the day, but I'm excited to tell you that we have installed little water filling stations. So Faith Academy has taken care of that for us. So if you do run out of water, they're able to refill them throughout the day. All right? Now Miss McKinnon's going to come up. Talk about rules.
All right, 5th grade rules and expectations. So come prepared for class. Raise your hand before speaking. Respect others. Keep your hands, feet, and other objects to yourself. Remain in your seat unless given permission to do otherwise. And these rules are posted in each one of our classrooms. We do follow an assertive discipline plan. So a warning for the students, that is the first offense. The student's name will go on the board. And like I said, that is just a warning. Second offense, 1 check after their name. That will be a 15-minute detention after school. The third offense, 2 checks after their name. That will be 30-minute detention after school, and a parent will be notified. Fourth offense, 3 checks after their name. That is isolation with a 0 on work and class, and the parent will be notified. Now, the 5th offense, the student will be sent to the office, and more severe methods will be discussed. In a case of severe disrespect, the student will be sent to the office, the parent will be called, and possible suspension or expulsion. Cell phones and devices. So cell phones, earphones, headphones, tablets, smartwatches, all other electronic devices are prohibited on campus before 4 p.m. Your first offense is 1 hour after school detention. Your second offense is Saturday school. Nobody wants Saturday school. 15-minute detention. So a child will receive 15-minute detention after school for these following reasons: not returning a test requiring a signature, not having a textbook, not returning the report card signed by the due date, passing notes in class, not returning a homework deficiency or detention notice, continually not having school supplies, and 3 unexcused tardies, and a 15-minute detention will be held in the 5th grade classroom. Now, 30-minute detention, 6 unexcused tardies per quarter, gum chewing, hitting, kicking, biting, fighting. It depends on the situation, and that will be determined by the teacher or the principal. And this also will be held in a 5th grade classroom. A 1 hour after school detention for these reasons: cell phones and technology devices. This will be for that first offense we just talked about. 3 homework deficiencies per quarter per subject. and at the teacher's discretion for severe discipline issues. The 1 hour detention will be held in the primary hall, and you will receive advance notice on this. Saturday school will be from 8 to 12. Again, this is for 9 unexcused tardies per quarter, vandalism, severe disrespect, or having a cell phone on campus before 4 p.m., and that's the second offense. Uniform policy, you may already be familiar with this. This is straight from the Faith Academy website, so I'm not going to go over everything, but you do need to know if your child chooses to wear an undershirt, make sure that it is white. You also have this in your handout as well. Outerwear. All outerwear must be purchased from the Faith Academy bookstore. Boys and girls both have the choice of a burgundy hooded jacket or a gray zip pullover jacket. And girls, you also have the extra option of a cardigan or a pullover sweater in the burgundy and gray. School supplies and personal belongings. Parents, please write the child's first and last name on all supplies and belongings. So this includes the backpack, the lunchbox, outerwear, mask, their planner, their binder, all of those great things. So also their binder, go ahead if you can and please put paper and tabs in your binder. You will need tabs for the following subjects: penmanship, math, language, and spelling. Class parties. Our first party is scheduled for Christmas, but we will share more information on this as Christmas approaches. Private music lessons. If you are interested in this, stop by the Arts Building on Monday, August the 10th. That is meet and greet day. You can speak to Miss Goins, Mr. Martin, Miss Tripp, or Miss Cleveland. Class fees. In 5th grade, we have a $5 art supply fee. Forms and paperwork, you will receive all this at meet and greet on August the 10th. And you may stop by between the times of 8 and 12, 1 and 4. You're going to get to meet the teacher. You're going to complete and turn in paperwork. The kids are going to get to turn in their supplies, organize their desk and cubby, and that will give you the opportunity to also to pay your $5 art fee. Medication and health concerns. So in order for us to give medicine to your child, you must complete the dispensing of medication form. You will receive this form August the 10th. It will be in your folder. That's one of the forms that you can take home and fill out. The medication must be in the proper prescription or over-the-counter bottle, and it cannot be out of date. If it is out of date, we cannot give it to your child. If your child has a medical issue that the teacher needs to be aware of, please send a note to the homeroom teacher and elective teacher. So the PE teacher needs to know about it, the band teacher, the choir teacher. Class needs. On August the 10th, there will be a wish list that is posted in your child's homeroom classroom. There will also be a sign-up sheet for those of you that would like to volunteer your time as well. And this concludes our slideshow. So thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to a fantastic year. We have another grade level entering soon, so if you would, please exit quickly so we can clean and sanitize. And if you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer those Monday at meet and greet. Look forward to seeing you then.